Welcome, beautiful people. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into this reading. I'm going to do a reading on the new moon solar eclipse in Libra coming up on October 2nd. So just a few more days until this eclipse actually takes place. But that doesn't mean that the energies are not already active, because they kind of have been here. And especially since Mars moved into Cancer, it kind of starts to build up. And I do feel that there will be like this week in general. It's the energy is quite dominating, but it's, of course, when it comes to eclipse energy, it kind of sort of lingers on and on. It sets something into motion, and it kind of is a continuous thing, continuous effect in our lives that we kind of have to sort of navigate through, because it just comes more and more towards the forefront. So just being conscious about, for your rising sign especially, like, where is this eclipse taking place, in which house, and to just be conscious that that house might, and those things that are connected to that house, might actually need more attention, or certain things change in that aspect for you, and not that you have to only focus on things that connect to that house for you. Of course, there's, like, we're all rounded people, and we have so many different sides to us in our lives, but it is good to be conscious about if there's something that kind of wants to exit or enter your space, and it could be beneficial for your growth in those areas. Just be conscious about being open for that, and not the more resistance we give it, the I think the more intense this energy might actually pull at us. So it's being aware and being conscious that it comes in waves, and doesn't just, oh, we're now building up to this eclipse, that's it, and then we just sort of, go forward in a straight line. It kind of just comes in waves. It's not something to be afraid of, because, it is a very natural rhythm of life, and kind of, there's always, like I said, some more aspects that come to it, but I wanted to do this reading, and also, yes, of course, want to integrate some astrology, but not only the astrology, because we have some amazing astrologists out there that really go into depth of, like, what it means for your sun, your moon, your rising, and how to integrate those. And what I do want to add is some intuitive messages for each and every sign. And of course, I will focus on what house, it is for your rising sign and your sun sign, moon. But most, it's important to focus on your own rising. Of course, your sun is also involved. But once again, if you have the ability to be aware of, like, what your rising sign is, please look it up. Okay. I need to sort of ground into this energy a little bit, because I have been doing readings, but a lot behind the scenes, a lot of personal readings, and so they are a little bit different than, like, the collective, and but I love doing the collective readings just as much. So I wanted to do this also for the full moon eclipse in Pisces, but I lost my voice for the first time in a very long time. I think a years. Actually got like this infection, like it's inflammation. Mars in my sign, in the sign of Cancer, that created this inflammation, like, in my throat chakra. So I had to sit that one out. But that doesn't mean I won't integrate a little bit of that also into this reading. But first and foremost, going to start with Aries, and then I'll end with Pisces. These timestamps will be in the description box, and I'll also drop them in the comment section below, so you can, like, find them over there. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. All right, Aries, I've been holding this deck for you. Yeah, you're one of the cardinal signs. So this eclipse, and I'm with you when it comes to that, because, I'm a Cancer, sun and rising, so definitely in the same boat. It might be a little bit more like, there might be, like, the pull might be a little stronger. We might be feeling the effects a little bit more intense, but it doesn't mean that we have to like fear it. I think it actually, as a cardinal sign, it is nice when things actually finally start to move, even though halfway through we might be like, ooh, you know, kind of need to come out and breathe some air at some point. But I do definitely feel like you're more than ready for some shifts and some changes to take place. Even though a part of you may not feel completely ready, I definitely think on the soul level you're ready. You know. So first and foremost, let's just focus on in what house will this be taking place. 7th house. So for, Aries arising, it is in your 7th house. So basically it's a house of relationships, romantic relationship, but also when it comes to like business relationships, just one-on-one connections, and not only like what roles people play in your life, but also definitely like what do you add to these groups of people or these one-on-one connections, business partnerships, romantic relationships, and long-lasting relationships as well. I feel like maybe you feel the need to sort of reflect on what it has been in your life for a long period of time, and at one point, because it's just been in your life for such a long period of time, and maybe therefore you haven't really looked through it through the eyes of, okay, is this still like something long-term beneficial for me, but also for the other person? Or maybe when it comes to a certain company, can you still grow? Is there just, are there still things that are motivating to you, are challenging for you, are, sparking your Mars energy, right? This is an eclipse in T-square with Mars. So there's a part of this eclipse where being conscious about when we are actually, just diving off the cliff, it's just like, see what happens. Or when we're actually consciously taking a leap of faith, because we know once we do that, we get to a new space that, yes, is new and, needs some navigation, but there are like it's a logical sort of step to do that for yourself, to venture out of your comfort zone but into a new space, instead of just jumping out and just free fall. I think there's a fine line there, because certain things can maybe look like would be a great opportunity, but there's also this free fall aspect to it. And so if you take some time and you just look at the different side of the coin, like you just take some time to absorb it a little bit more, let it come in, but also observe it just a little bit longer. Certain things may become clearer that can actually help you, and other things may become clearer where you're like, oh, you know what, gave it a little bit more thought, and I don't really think this is a great idea. Maybe it's taking too many steps back for now. Like, I'm being conscious about that. Where does that energy come from? And then it all has to do with like, okay, having those conversations with yourself, giving yourself that space and time. Let's see what unexpected opportunity, energy, shift might take place for you when it comes to this eclipse. I'm gonna... Ooh, we already have a... Love that. The Magician. Okay, let's see. It's such a powerful energy. I love this for you, Aries, because the Magician is here to let you know that you can turn any circumstance into something that's serving you. So any circumstance can, contain of something that could be helpful for you moving forward. So you are definitely maybe even thinking about ending a business partnership and just becoming, your own entrepreneur. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple more cards to see what else is coming out. Ooh. Beautiful. 10 of Pentacles with the Hermit. Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. I'm gonna get one more card for that Seven of Swords because it's showing me something. Can I get one more card for the Seven of Swords for Aries? For Aries. Woo! Sorry. Oh yes, and the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Oh, Aries, Aries, Aries. Beautiful. Basically what it's showing me right off the jump is it may seem to the public, to people around you, like you're just making a head over heart decision, just real quick, you know, jumping in half first, that free fall thing. But what they don't know is that behind the scenes you really did do that thinking. Or when it comes to, you know, what I was just talking about, the other energies, just being very aware of what this opportunity contains. If you do the extra work, then you can make like really some smart decisions for you in your future, and especially your emotional, but definitely material and financial stability and growth. And you really are making some smart choices. You have the ability, let's say, to really give something a go. Yes, it could be connecting to a relationship, but I feel overall I feel something you've been working on behind the scenes, you actually, within now in the next 6 months, you will put it in, you know, you will do the launch, you will do the, I don't know, what you're going to express to the world. Maybe it's you getting to know somebody new and you know, really started to seriously date this person, but you won't share it with anybody around you until you're 100% sure. And then you show up in the world and then you share it with the world. But behind the scenes, things have been working. And so that is something that this eclipse, you know, is kind of showing you, like, hey, you have way more power. And yeah, you just have way more power than you may think, and you can actually make some stuff happen. And we don't always need the eyes of the world in, you know, the beginning stages of maybe, you know, getting it to a certain point. You can do that in silence. And I'm seeing you being really smart about what you share and who you share it with, and that also that you want to depend on what your internal voice is saying to you, what your soul is guiding you to do. You don't want to get caught up in too many opinions, too many this, too many that. You really want to do this for yourself, by yourself, with yourself. And it doesn't mean you can't do it with another person. Like I said, maybe your relationship, you do it with 2 people, sometimes more. I'm just saying, minimum of 2. No judgment over here. But that doesn't mean that the entire world has to be part of the, you know, the whole process. And so I see that by the end, you know, by the time we enter this new eclipse season, I believe it's March 2025, that is when things really are like out in the open. So give yourself that grace also to work towards something. If you really have like something you really wish to be different, like around this time in your life right now while I'm recording this, you can make it happen. You can really make this change. You can really find some happiness there, because you have a beautiful Ace of Cups as well showing up for you. So I'm not worried. You can make something, and it's long lasting. It's long lasting. Beautiful. All right, Aries. Yeah, overall, just, you know, take it easy on these eclipse days, because the energy can be intense. If your body wants to sleep and you can take some rest, please do so. Drink enough water. Don't, you know, if you don't really need to leave the house at certain times, you know, just you know, don't. Just be more careful, be more aware, because it's accident prone. Doesn't mean it has to happen. I'm just saying, just be extra careful. If you do feel like your body and stuff is like really reacting pretty heavily, like your joints and things like that, maybe if you could spend it around the time of the eclipse in water, and then your best, you know, a bathtub, not like the open ocean. Por favor, please don't do that. Please. Yeah, that could be very helpful. So thank you so much for tuning in, Taurus. Maybe you want to listen to your sun, your rising, your moon, what, you know. I would love to see you over on that side. For now, I'm tuning out and I'm moving forward to Taurus. Thank you so much, Aries. Love you guys. Be back soon, okay? I promise. I'm not going anywhere. Bye, Aries. All right, Taurus, let's jump into your reading. I'm just quickly to like reset the energy of the deck and write down the time. I'm just gonna shuffle a little bit more to get your energy in the deck. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. It's been a while since I recorded an all signs reading. So, all right, Taurus. For you, this beautiful, intense eclipse is happening in your 6th house. So, the house of home, the house of family, the house of health, the house of daily routines, the house of pets, the house of, you know, routines in good habits, bad habits, and everything above and beyond. So I am sensing for this eclipse is that you might need to let go of something that has been part of your life for quite some time. This could be a habit, this could be an addiction, this could be something in your daily routine that you've been aware of that is no longer serving you. I don't necessarily know whether it's like sort of ripped from you and you kind of just have to deal with it. I think it's more subtle than that. More of like a nudge, like, ugh, it's kind of annoying me, or I wish this to be different. And yeah, it's sort of like a feeling or an itch, right? That you want to change some things around. So let's see. I feel like if you have some issues, it probably is with the people that you communicate with on a daily basis. More of like people that are either like living with you in the same apartment, you know, in same household, or it's people you work with. It's just almost like you go from both speaking English to all of a sudden both of y'all like speak and I do a completely different language. So it could feel like that. I'm not saying it's something to fear. I really am saying that, I'm feeling that that could actually be beneficial, because it kind of gets you out of a, like a rut maybe in the routine, where all of a sudden you feel like, oh, well, kind of this already just always just went the way it went. I didn't really think twice about it. And now it's kind of motivating you to allow fresh energy, fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ideas into things that you maybe even do automatically. You know, maybe it's just so like your second nature, and maybe it's actually really healthy that, and understand, you know, you guys have fixed sign energy, but that doesn't mean that you cannot be surprised by something that shifts, that you didn't even think that it needed any change. But everything can sometimes, you know, use a little bit of an upgrade, or a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a change. And I'm sensing that if you're capable of being open for that, like for example, I'm going to give you an example. And I'm not saying it's a literal, it's just an example. you live somewhere, you don't really even think like, you know, I don't really know, like I don't really need to move, you know, but then your partner or whatever like takes you out on trips to just go and look at properties, see what's out there, just take it in, and then you might actually be surprised like, whoa, this house could really like house all me and all my kids, like everybody could actually have their own room. I mean, we're all used to share rooms, but what if we don't have to? And just being open to like maybe and the what ifs. I'm just like I said, when it comes to the house thing, it was just an example, but I think it's all about seeing the beneficial side of things, just being more efficient, and it is definitely motivating you to maybe add that to different things in your life, in your daily routine, you know, instead of taking the car to work, for example, and you're stuck in traffic and everything, you might actually go and take the train, for example, with a colleague, and then you both go on bikes, and then, you know, you're at your job like twice as quick, and so you have a lot more free time, and it is just something that, you know, you never really thought like about changing, but maybe you're actually creating some change there. So that is something that I'm just keep seeing. But I'm gonna get some cards out. Can I get some cards for my beautiful Taurus people? What's coming up for this eclipse energy for them? What other messages want to come true for them around this time? Okay, good. Three of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and then we have the beautiful Chariot energy as well. So I'm gonna get 2 more cards, the bare minimum. Getting this, it is itch. So the World, beautiful, and then we have the Queen of Cups with the Star. I'm seeing that there's a side of you that maybe has closed off because you were disappointed in something or someone, and you kind of became used to having that side of you, like not really joining any decision making or any future planning or stuff like that. And so I'm sensing there's something very light, like something like a light bright energy. This could be a Cancerian energy as well. Doesn't have to be, but I think that that's that Mars in Cancer energy that's sort of coming through, and that's why this push is happening. But there's this thing that just expands your world. It expands, yeah, maybe it's your heart. Maybe you got your heart broken, or there was just so much confusion around the heart, things of the heart, the matters of the heart, right? Where you felt like it was just easier to play a role or have another side of you be kind of dominant, and then, you know, sort of taking on a leadership position in that. But I'm sensing you being guided to trust your heart, open up your heart, also in your daily routines. There might be a new job or a new way of creating your income as well, which also has to do with your daily routines, you know. Just do it. There's just a lot of light energy coming towards that, but it's not because it all of a sudden is here and, you know, you're super relaxed about it. It's like, no, you see that it's something different. You can tell that it's something different, but you still have to choose to open up to it, to take it on, to try it out. Once again, like I said, right? Just go and have a viewing. Just go to the viewing of that house, right? Like I gave as an example. So the Queen of Cups, it's just like you open up your heart to the world a little bit more. Seven of Pentacles, the Devil energy. together with the Fool and the Death. Yeah. Something is coming to an end, and I am sensing that there's a little bit of pessimism going along, and I get that if you are being disappointed about options, but then it not really being option, and if you go through that long enough, you know, some pessimism or like, I don't know, you know, may come up, because it also is a form of self-protection. But I feel right now it kind of slowly turned into self-rejection of anything else, or any growth, or any really good, beautiful things coming up in your life. So with that, Taurus, I'm sensing that you're opening up your energy from, if I stay closed off, at least I don't get disappointed or hurt, versus having this open heart chakra. Yes, I may be vulnerable for people to maybe, you know, disappoint me, but having this heart open in general already gives me so much more light, and so much more connection, and so much more brightness and joy in my day-to-day breathing and my day-to-day life, right? That it's worth it. You know, taking a shot and taking a chance, and that closes out a very important chapter. You know, a lot of this energy, like the Nine of Swords energy. It's like, don't be afraid of repetition of the past, because you're no longer you. The old you. I mean, you are you, but you know, improved version of you. You might be surprised how much you've grown if you're willing to sort of look beyond the limitations. So that's what I'm getting for Taurus for this a lunar eclipse, solar new moon eclipse in Libra. Yeah, just go with the flow, Taurus, when it comes to this one. But please try and be open for something positive to enter your life. Maybe it's you opening up your heart to a pet, you know, again. And that can bring so much laughter and so much joy. And it can, you know, maybe teach you how to open up your heart again and show some unconditional love, but also receive some unconditional love. All right. I'm going to move forward with Geminis. Thank you so much, Taurus, by the way, for tuning in. I appreciate it a lot. All right. I wanted to keep these readings pretty short, but failing. I'm going to try. All right, Gemini, let's go. Let's tune in for your reading. First and foremost, this lunar... this solar new moon eclipse in Libra will take place in your 5th house. So that house is definitely a little bit of everything. You know, I think, you know, number 5 is just it's a number of change. It's a number of creative energy flow. It's a number of flirtatious energy, just being overall just spontaneous and creative, and just things shifting and changing. You never know what you get with a number 5, okay? Romantic energy as well. Some little bit of romance, some fun in between the sheets, you know, who knows? All I'm saying is that anything can happen. Anything can happen. Okay, let's focus, Gemini. Overall, I feel like this eclipse energy is almost like seeing your sister or your little brother or something sort of having a meltdown in front of their parents, and you're not involved. Neither are you responsible for making it any better, and you kind of just see it happening. It's just all, you know, kind of happening right in front of you, and you see that it has an effect on your sibling. It has an effect on your parents, because they're kind of, you know, are the parent in this situation, and you're kind of the observer. You see it taking place, but you're not really that impressed by it, because you know after 5 minutes this kid is gonna calm down, and your parents finally gonna, you know, give them the cookies that they wanted, and they had like this, you know, meltdown over, and then everything goes back to normal. Well, normal. What is normal, right? But that's a little bit what I'm feeling when I tune into your energy. You're like, yeah, Libra. Okay, Libra. it's like you're here and yeah, you can feel it, but also you're like, I don't really want to do anything with it. Like, I'ma just take some nights off and I'ma just do me. Okay, I'm not gonna really bother anybody with that. Because everybody seems to be in this whole energy, and I'm just kind of want to skip ahead. Because you've started working with this energy and feeling this energy months ago. And kind of where maybe people are now in their lives and start to see certain things evolve and, or, basically breaking down. You've already kind of passed that. So you're like, can we skip ahead? Can everybody sort of just like get on this train? Yes, we just need to move forward. We need to get this stuff done, okay? You're not really going to give stuff energy that just, why? It's like that you don't actually necessarily have to give energy to. And that's why I'm feeling a lot of people might actually come to advice or like kind of impressed with how you're sort of navigating through a lot of things. But that doesn't mean that you don't have your own things going on. It doesn't mean that you don't have challenges or that you're not trying to navigate stuff. But it's like you just don't want to do it out there in public and stuff. You just, no. So that's really the energy that I'm picking up for Geminis right now. Interesting. Let's see. It's like I just don't have the time. That's what I'm hearing. I just don't have the time. I don't want to do the whole conflict and then, the crying on the phone. And you're like, I don't really am here for the drama. I just want to have some fun. I just want to transport my pain into art and vice versa, and like, let's just be romantic about it, right? If it doesn't hurt, is it then beauty? It's like, it's just all these thoughts sometimes come by like this Greek energy. Is what I'm feeling. I don't know, maybe I should stop talking. All right, let's focus. What we got here? Yes, High Priestess, exactly that higher knowledge, that higher energy. Wow, with the Queen of Wands and the Six of Cups. Wasn't I talking about siblings? Maybe that sibling story earlier on was that one twin of you, and then the other twin was like, I just can't be bothered right now. I'm taking a couple days off from this family. Queen of Wands, Six of Cups. Yeah, it's like you may experience some people feeling that they're like, I can't read you, Gemini, because it seems like you come off as like you are not impressed or like you know it all. But it's not that you know it all. It's just like you just went through this stuff, and so you're like, listen, just calm down. I know it feels like this. I know it sounds like that, but you get it. Just like, let's just skip ahead. Let's understand that in 4 or 5 months you will not necessarily feel this way anymore. You will be glad that you took this chance. You will be glad that you stopped dating this person. It's like you really are just coming forward in a certain energy because you just know. And sometimes people, and that's why I love this whole balance energy, because the Queen of Wands, she really does is all about action and stuff, but she's super aware of like other people's need and their speed and stuff like that, because she was there. That's what I'm feeling like. You were there, and now you're kind of sort of coming here, and then you show up as the High Priestess energy, and so you are transforming your energy from maybe not being so relatable to people to like being super relatable, when you still continue to like sit on the same throne, you're the same knowledge, same wisdom. It's just like you're finding ways to express it in a different way, and that is that 5th house energy as well, because you're kind of being creative with how you say the things that you know are true, but then how you say it actually makes such a big difference. That people are like acting like you went from speaking Chinese to like an Australian person, maybe, from like, no, now you're actually speaking English. We understand it. Yes, well, that's so, like, that's an energy that I'm feeling. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. And you're like, yeah, okay, great. Wasn't really looking for the validation, but thank you. Appreciate it. keeping it real. Queen of Swords, yep. Oh, I cannot wait for this October reading for you, Gemini. I cannot wait because I can't go all out over here. I just need to keep it short. 7 of Swords in reverse. You're like, okay, I need to one more card with that, because what is the transition between the 6 of Cups and the Queen of Swords? Okay, good. I am sensing it's almost like I'm hearing the clash of the Titans. Okay, the clash of the Titans, meaning that as soon as people come at you in like the wrong way, like this Mars and Cancer energy can, you know, provoke people. They come at you, you show them like, hey, just so you know, I come off super namaste at the moment, and that's really how I'm feeling, and I'm choosing to go about things, and I don't want to like go ham and go all out, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. But just so you know that if you do decide to show up in a disrespectful way towards me, I have a sword too, and it really is going to cut a lot deeper than any of these small swords that you're bringing here. So you choose. You want to have a normal conversation, you want to actually really, you know, have a normal debate, or do you want to play dirty? Because I can't do that. It's totally okay. I'm like the queen at that, actually. But I choose to like show up with my wand. I actually want to be creative. I want good, passionate, flowing energy to come towards this, either this person, this union. Like I said, it can go about so many different things, the 5th house energy. But if they choose that they want to take it to the other side, you're like, okay, we can do whatever, you know. And that actually brings them in a more peaceful state, because they see that you can actually also choose to be this, but you chose to be this, to come off from a different energy, and they actually get motivated by that. They actually get inspired by it. So I'm feeling like you're showing hey, I can mirror you if you want to. I choose not to show up in the energy, but don't get it like I'm here. Don't get it twisted now. That's a decision I'm making. That's not the only option I have. So I'm hearing, scare them straight, Gemini. Scare them straight. Like I said, I'm reading for a small group of Geminis. This could often be 2 sides of yourself within you. Look at the World card showing up again. Yeah, because, you know, the eclipses do intend to play out more of like a world, you know, grander scale. But the 6 of Pentacles with the World, yeah, it's a lot more balanced. A lot more equal give and take. Also for yourself. Because you're also calling yourself out on some stuff. And that's okay. That's private. I'm going to just leave that for you and you. But it's good. It's healthy. It's growth. It's fresh energy. It's motivational energy. It is, let's just start fresh type of energy. It's really good. I'm getting a good frequency, and that's not because they're not hard, like difficult aspects that we're working with. No, but it's because of it that you're actually like, hey, now I gotta really make some decisions. I can choose to let this energy just run with me freely and just making me go from savage to whatever, or I can choose to like not engage in this too much and understand, okay, this person's like really coming at me like this right now. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and then I'll reply. Let's see if the energy has calmed down a little bit. Just being conscious about the way you move is teaching yourself a lot, but it's also because you got some practice. Yeah. All right, Gemini, that is your reading for this lunar eclipse. Sorry, again I say it. What is it? Maybe it's some lingering energy from a lunar eclipse because I never got to do that reading. It's a solar eclipse, okay? In Libra, October 2nd. All right, thank you so much, Gemini. I am working on some, one-on-one with the signs reading soon. So, yeah, I'm curious what comes forward in that. But for now, this was the message that I was getting for your sign, okay? Sending you lots of love, and I'll be back soon. Bye, Gemini. Bye. All right, Cancer. Let's jump into your reading. Let me just quickly double check something. Cancer. You okay? Are you okay? I just quickly just needed to check in. Cancer, 4th house energy. I'm sensing that for some reason we kind of are holding on and feeling okay, I guess we have to really prepare for something. But I don't really sense, and I had that a little bit with Gemini as well, I don't really sense that then all of a sudden there's the flow. I think this flow has been flowing for quite some time, and I think we got slowly but surely kind of sort of get used to the rhythm of this flow, and it already has gotten us in different space, and that's why maybe you can't really sense what other people may actually be talking about, because for me, I'm talking from a an experience, the energetic experience type of place, because I'm a Cancer sun and rising as well. And so I have noticed these little waves and things, and because the differences, because we're so used to the ups and the downs and the flows, right? But it was almost like every time we went up, we came down, we went a little bit deeper than normal, and we felt that. But then we kind of also instantly sort of were on the old level again. And then it was up, and it was a little bit more up than we're normally used to. And then we sense it, but then before we actually get to sort of do anything with that energy, it kind of just goes down, and then a little bit deeper, and then a little bit more up. So that's all I'm trying to say, is that it kind of slowly but surely already got us used to sort of this new frequency. That yes is more intense and is more enhanced, but I'm sensing that a couple weeks ago from this day, today it's what is it, September 30th, I think, while I'm recording this, I'm sensing yes, we'll feel this week, we feel almost like this internal knowing that okay, we're just going to be open and we don't really know, and let's just try and be okay with that unknown factor right now. That's what I'm feeling. And the more you can sort of find ease into it, the more you're okay, I trust that this is really what I'm guided to do. I'm trust that this is where I'm sort of heading towards. And and that's something that I do when I say Cancer, you don't have all the details just yet. They will get revealed. They will, and that certain answers you just don't have right now, you will have them in a couple weeks or a couple months. And how to sort of ease into that, be okay with it, right? If somebody would say, for example, I'm just going to give you a random example, hey, I'll get you the money next week, right? You're okay, next week. Right now it's not next week yet. So, but you don't have a date that somebody's gonna give you that money back or whatever. It's and maybe it's a really big amount and you really kind of are, counting on it. It could be on Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday or Friday, maybe even Sunday, because everything is still next week, right? There's just this now I kind of have to think about it until somebody says hey, next Friday, 4 o'clock, I'll transfer you the money. You'll have it within 2 minutes, tops. That Friday, and and so on Tuesday. It's not on your mind like, oh, it's gonna come today, maybe, like, you know, because this Tuesday is also like next week, right? All I'm saying is that you might still feel a little bit like somebody saying like next week, and not necessarily next week, but like next week, right? And so you're like, when? This is gonna start feeling like a specific date. I don't mean this literally that it will be at a specific date, but you will start having the peace and groundedness like you do, and as I've almost like this internal faith energy coming up and showing up. It's almost, and it's just with things that are a little bit out of balance, right? Like your company wants to transfer you to a different space. You just don't know exactly what or where or how, when, but you sort of ease into it, and you emotionally are like finding this grounding into it, like you do. You do have all these details. You do know. So I'm sensing this inner home energy and this grounding into this inner knowing, this inner home, this inner peace that is developing over the next 6 months. That, yeah, it's going to put you in a position of great manifestation at the same time. Because if we can feel the ease with something that isn't here yet, but we feel the same ease as it was, it's a very powerful manifestation skills. So keeping like a motivational journal or a manifestation, like a friend of mine, she always makes mood boards for every month. It's just, I love it. And until now, like everything kind of came true. So it's just a really good energy to work with, to integrate. Okay, let's get some cards. I always feel that when it comes to your readings, I can do without the cards. I can don't do any reading without the cards, but I love the cards. And these cards just have, I posted that on Instagram earlier on, that this is one of the decks I took to the forest because I felt cold to take some decks out to the forest and for them to like sort of release and recharge for these readings. So Queen of Swords, beautiful. I love that because that's something that we can use right now. We can work with that energy. Oh, beautiful, with the Queen of Cups. So what this is instantly saying is that we can be firm and still be very kind and sweet and loving, but with the boundaries. We're like, oh, but don't take my kindness for weakness type of energy, right? And being firm in that. It's often Cancers are like really good at like as the mother archetype, right? Really good in like being consistent with where the boundary is, and they love hard and they embrace hard and all of that. But when it comes to the boundary is like this on Tuesday, but it's also like that next Tuesday and the week after that. It's a part of loving is having a form of consistency in that, and therefore it also makes an impact, because when somebody is just so, with the heart and open and the soft energy and stuff, and then you all of a sudden show your sword and they're like, wait a minute now, huh? It makes an impact. It just makes an impact, and maybe some people will meet that side of us, and we have to be sort of a little bit conscious about it, because this Mars in our sign energy is not it's not to take lightly. It's not something to fear, but it's just being aware that certain things where normally the boundary would, for example, be way over here for you to even show that sword, right, on the other side of yourself out of protectiveness. It now may look like it's there, but it might actually be all the way like right here. And so it's kind of 0 to 100 real quick, without us internally knowing it, because our compass is kind of still the same. It's like when we feel like this, that's actually when we go in protective mode. It might be a little off. That doesn't mean that we're wrong in having boundaries, but it's like if we do take a little bit time to reflect, take a couple of deep breaths, do we still feel the same tomorrow morning? And then we come from a different space. Because like I said, the feeling of like I'm being taken as this when that's not the case, or I feel threatened in my safetyness or something like that, the feeling is up there like way quicker than we might normally have. And so just be aware of it, okay? Because it would be just such a shame if it gets us in trouble when that's such a natural side of us that actually is very well oiled. It kind of really works very well, because it keeps the balance. And ask anyone that pisses off a Cancer. They're so used to being very close to them and like they're loving and all of that. And if you do really piss off a Cancer, like there's not a lot of people that came out of that fight not feeling completely terrified. I'm sorry. It's just true. It's like, because it's such a different side to a Cancerian energy where everything is real. The loving, the openness, the nurturing, the compassion, the patience, the empathy, the whole shebang. And the moodiness, okay? It's also there, everything, okay, everything. Because it's all about the feels. But the intention of like is to be kind, to be loving, or to be left alone. So we're not searching to go out of our way, right? But what I am sensing at this moment in time is that if we do show that sort, when the next day we can feel that, that was not really completely correct. It doesn't necessarily only, like, it doesn't, put us in a bad energy with the other person. It's just ourselves, because it's always a double-edged sword. Always. Because if we do have to get real and raw with a person that is so close to us and that we love, it always hurts us, cuts us at the same time. But we have to, but it still cuts us at the same time because it's painful. Because out of ourselves, we would never go there. And the fact that we had to protect ourselves from somebody we have in our shell, in our inner circle, that always is a double-edged sword. So this is maybe a little bit of a confusing energy. But I'm sensing that also. And I feel in next coming weeks, and maybe even, till the next eclipse comes along, you're capable of developing something where the aftermath of setting your boundaries, the aftermath of showing your teeth sometimes, is different. It's almost like this. There's this calmness that comes over it because you're learning to navigate it from a different space. So that will definitely help you. It will help you in how you negotiate business, how you negotiate, your terms when it comes to your partnerships, your family, and stuff like that. It's like just being conscious these coming, like especially this week, just be aware. Just be aware, and that's all you can do. Just be aware. Okay? Certain things may make you feel a little bit more threatened, or maybe a little bit more, emotional. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just like how we react with it. What do we then do with what we're feeling? And how do we respond? And normally I would say, you can just go with your instincts because they will protect you. Because you're not overprotective of that feeling either. But this moment in time, just being conscious about it takes you so far, Cancer. Takes you really far. Okay? And it's okay. Give yourself some grace as well. Give yourself some grace because it isn't an easy energy to sort of navigate through. even though it doesn't feel that much difference, how we go about things is a little different. Ace of Pentacles, coins, stability. I think you gain an ability towards, yeah, I love that, more emotional stability. It's not so beautiful. It doesn't affect your day-to-day life and focus and energy as much anymore. I think this is really beautiful. It's such a necessity. It's such a asset, what I'm hearing. Beautiful. Okay, I'll take these cards that flipped over in the deck and then heading over. Here we have the Ten of Cups, the Magician, the Two of Cups with the Hanged Man and the Lovers. Oh, yes. All right, Cancer snap. You have so many beautiful love cards. We went from the Ten of Cups to Two of Cups, the Lovers with the Magician and the Hanged Man. And so, yeah, your perspective is changing. There's something fundamental that is changing and shifting and growing within you because you're navigating different type of energies, which continues to put you in a space of growth. Like, okay, if I'm hanging upside down, how do I find the balance in that? Oh, I'll just, go into my mind. I'll just go and be free there and expand my mind, and therefore I have more space to move around in. Like, it's all about what you are dealing with. And I am really sensing that. Don't forget that no matter what, Cancer, you can always creatively find your way out of something and look good doing it. Okay, don't forget that now. It's like, you make it look so easy, Cancer. Yeah. All right. I am really sensing that it's just about coming closer. It really is about coming closer. Beautiful. Deeper connection, deeper meaning to things. But the Eight of Pentacles, that's the one I really, really wanted to attract for you guys. Because it's once a cardinal energy in general, and it's cardinal lunar, solar eclipse, so new moon. Because it's cardinal energy. If the cardinal feels good about this, starting this new project, and you're there, body, mind, soul, and spirit, with that Eight of Pentacles, right? Like, this person is there. This is element of the cardinal. When the cardinal is in their element, they lost track of time. They don't think about anything else, but actually lost in the project or something else. That's when you're at your best, and that's where you create magic, and that's where you are. It's just at your best. You can just feel like I was just in my element for a moment. You will get more of that. Because if I see this showing up in your reading and that's where you're creating from, and then the rest of this energy is showing up, beautiful. So beautiful, Cancer. All right, thank you so much for letting me review. I really have to, move forward because I'm only at Leo right now, and I've been on here for quite some time. I really wanted to do short readings, but maybe that's just not for me. All right, love you, Cancer. Take it easy, okay? I'll be back soon. Mwah. Bye. All right, Leos, let's tune in for you guys. So this solar eclipse taking place in Libra will be connected to your third house energy. So that is the house of communication, the house of siblings, the house of short trips. Also, when it comes to like people in your neighborhood, your community in general, maybe different type of communities you might be connecting to. And that is, I think when it comes to, we're talking about challenges or maybe growth and changes, I think that it is mostly connected to those areas for you guys. Overall, I'm sensing that you might look at the qualities that you need in order to have a clear communication, or more so connection to those things, connection to your siblings or people that feel like siblings. You know, sometimes we're friends with people for 20 years and they're like our sister or our brother, period, even if they're, you know, we don't share the same blood, but we're like sisters, right? I think overall, when it comes to in order to have those deeper bonds and connect in that in a deeper way, because third house also about connection, you know, communication is a thing for connection. I think that you might grow in those areas because you become more aware of how can I communicate things so this doesn't stand in between me and this person, or how can I express myself so this group of people can learn to understand me better, versus also me learning to understand them better, so we can have a better and more smooth going connection and communication, and in general a better end result, because it's also about sharing the workload, sharing like a connection. So I'm feeling, when it comes to this solar eclipse, I don't necessarily think like, oh, it's all like in this week, like couple of days after of the eclipse on the 2nd of October, but I do feel like the months moving forward, I'm sensing that you become more aware of what is standing in between you and your goal with other people, your goal for connections, or you and your family and stuff like that. So becoming more aware, and therefore you see exactly where the work could be beneficial. Like if you put energy there, then that actually goes more smoothly, instead of sort of feeling really frustrated about not getting the end result. You kind of become more motivated about, okay, so if I put work here, then actually that goes more smoothly, that gets me to the result that I want for me and my people, and things like that. So I feel like it's all about finding the missing links in order to link things back up again. And not necessarily that right now, as I'm shuffling for you guys, I don't think it's not necessarily right now you are so out of balance with that. But I feel that you've started to notice like, hey, this could actually be better. If like you notice that you have like a really good conversation, it feels so good. It's like, why am I not having this more often? For example, right? So you're like, hey, you're starting to notice where you could actually grow and where things could actually even be better. And so that is more what I'm sensing. Because right now, yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop it right there because I'm gonna let the cards talk now. And then they are. We have the world. The world has shown up in almost every single reading I did so far. Beautiful. The world is here. The lovers, beautiful. Three of Pentacles, of course. Third house energy. Knight of Cups. The artist is here as well. And then we have the Emperor with the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords has been around. It has been around. And I feel like there's a little bit of that. I got stuff to say, but I don't know if I will. Do I? Don't I? Going back and forth a little bit. That's that Mars in Cancer energy. It's like, sideways. But this energy, it's so separate from what we got going on over here. This is almost like, don't let pride get in the way of what is so full of potential. Because I love this energy over here. It's like deeper connection, speaking from the heart, creating from the heart, feeling like passionate about creating something. Because with the Three of Pentacles, like working together on something, getting to, an end result with the Knight of Cups and the artist, it's like understanding that when you show up authentically, Leo, you add something so special and just something so artistic to the group, whether that is, you know, if you're in charge of the wine, the type of wine you bring, it's like out there, you really are adding something to the dinner table if are giving something. So it's like you bring things to the table that nobody else can, when when you are actually in your element and when you show up from that space. So I'm feeling with this, it's like I'm gonna get a couple more clarifies on it, because this Emperor with the 7 of Wands, you see this Emperor is just like so up, It's like up in the sense of away, with the chest away from the connection. It's like with the 7 of Swords as well, there's just something in between, and right now it just feels very prideful, like I'm thinking, and mostly what I'm feeling with this is that you don't need to prove yourself in order to be a part of it. It's just about being you, authentically you. Something else that I'm hearing, but I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Can I get one message for Leo? Beautiful. Is there anything else that wants to come out for my Leos? There we go. Beautiful. King of Pentacles. Yes, much better energy. 4 of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. Look, it's the balance. So I'm going to get one more card, because especially with the King of Pentacles, like what does Leo need to link? There we go. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, there we go. Got 2 more. The Knight of Wands with the Strength. Oh, that's so beautiful. The Knight of Wands with the Strength. The thing is that what especially is coming forward as well is like the barefoot foot. No shoes, no things. It's just really being grounded and being out there. I'm seeing the rawness, the realness, the authentic energy showing up with, real. No like hiding and only showing 2 swords and then having 5 hidden underneath your cloak, and that's not necessary. I feel like if you do want to connect with a group of people, you want to connect deeper with certain people around you, whether it's family, like I said, chosen family, showing up with some in your vulnerability, being open, being honest, being just you and how you're feeling and showing up as that. With the Knight of Wands and the Strength, I'm hearing coaching. It's that missing link. It's part of the missing link, and it only gets you closer to, I'm hearing this, closer to the river of wealth. Closer to the river of wealth. That's what I'm keep hearing. It's getting you closer to the river of wealth. And wealthy all around. Wealthy in, the connections you feel in your life. Wealthy about the authenticity. Wealthy in the amount of spiritual and creative energy flow you're getting, and stream that you're taking from. It's so wealthy. It's so... And the Pentacles as well, because the Pentacles are definitely here. So that type of wealth. But this is... With the Strength card, you showing up like this, really one of my favorite cards for Leos, because it shows you exactly that the thing that kept you disconnected was because you thought that was something that was unaccepted. But actually that was a thing that reconnected you. And is reconnecting and will continue to reconnect you. So there's a lot to be sad. For me, it's a lot to be sad. But I'm just feeling this energy of respect and this energy of almost like this honest, like, oh wow, you're showing up so real, you're being so honest. I'm really getting an intel of like, this other person or, people. Like really getting an intel now in how you've been feeling, Leo, and where things are coming from. And now things make so much more sense. And now we trust you and, way deeper. And now we feel much more connected to you. And I feel that around this reading and around this third house activation. And once again, it's not just like, oh, we deal with this week. It's kind of is something that's activated right now, and will continue to play until next eclipse season. I believe that's March 25. So it's subtle, once again, but it's not loud, but it has much ripple effect. That's what I'm feeling. And it's also very freeing for you. It's very freeing, and you're getting motivated, and you're getting excited, and you're just up and away. That's what I'm feeling, Leo. So that's what I'm getting for you. I hope that was helpful. I'm now gonna move on to Virgos. But thank you so much, Leo, for sharing your time with me. Appreciate it. All right. All right, Virgos. Second house energy for you guys when it comes to this new moon solar eclipse in Libra. All right. Happy belated birthday to my beautiful Virgos out there. I hope you guys had a great birthday season. And I'm just ready, for a new cycle to begin. I am sure that you guys have probably already started to sense some stuff, like energetically shifting. Things are going a little different. Some old things may pop back up in your life that has been, silently in the background. I don't know, it could be playing out differently for everyone. But I am sensing that I'm gonna say it. I know I don't want to say it. That's why I was silent. It's like you're rediscovering what it is to be patient, and not patience with like, okay, I'm gonna give you my Virgo face, no emotions, but I feel a way. No, it's really like, I'm cool with that. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. It will come. I'm cool with it. Like, lay back, relax, Virgo. That isn't, that's within you as well. But it's just a ease back, relax, trust it, having some faith, going with the flow, but still continue to show up and do the work. And that does not mean that you constantly have to do this and this everything will be sort of dragged on, and but it's about that easing in and that relaxing of like, okay, I'm showing up, I know, I'm in the right energy, I'm manifesting this, so that's good. That's as far as my work goes, because you're coexisting and co-creating with the universe. And so you are going through a phase coming up, like a phase for you where it's all about, okay, I did my thing, and now I gotta trust the universe. It's really like that second house energy, because that is the house of like, finances and income and money and working with other people, and just overall really like, but also with love and relationships at the same time, because yes, we have the fifth house and the seventh house for that, but the second house, it's also very much connected to love and partnership. So it's understanding the difference between, I'm cool with not having it because I just continue to convince myself that I don't need that, and so I'm chill, and instead of like, no, I would actually, I'm working for that, and I'm showing up for that. I'm not instantly seeing the results, but I'm okay with that, because I can feel that doing the work feels good regardless of when I'm getting the results to come in. So this is a little bit in and out. I'm going to get some cards because this is just what I'm channeling for you guys, because it comes with a little bit of a challenge. For every single sign, the house that this eclipse in comes a little bit with a challenge, because Mars is like in a T-square to like in Cancer, and it's in T-square to the South Node. So it's like, oh, something we are supposed to sort of move away from. I don't want you to get the feeling you won't have any results, because that's definitely not the case. It's just the way it goes about it, and something that you are relearning how to integrate into your life. All right. Here we go. 5 of Wands. 9 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. They're letting you know I understand. There's some stuff happening here for you, Virgo, and it's almost like I'm looking at it from a third person perspective, like I'm in this scene right now, because I'm sort of looking beyond, because what's coming after that is the overcoming of it, but not only in like your mental state and all of that, but especially in this physical world. You start seeing that, okay, what I'm seeing with this, and I'm just gonna give it as it comes, okay? I feel some of you may have actually dealt with some bullying in the past, maybe really like early school, preschool, high school, college, in whatever way, shape, or form, maybe even on the work floor or something like that. There's just, or maybe, even from in the household, it can be in many different ways, many different forms, but feeling that you've got put down for something that you are, or that you were dealing with, or something like that. I feel that it affected, because that was, it's the most important thing. It's like it affected the way you see yourself. It affected the way you felt about a thing about yourself. It doesn't have to be your entire being. It can be just one particular thing. Where it's like, it's about the confidence and feeling like, yes, you may actually show up, and you may, the world doesn't even see it, hardly any, like to read a Virgo, you need a couple days, you need a minute, okay, to really see what's going on behind the surface. But I just wanted to really let you know that maybe is one of those things, like I said, that faith and that taking, that peace, and like having, that faith. It's like, I'm showing up and I'm doing this, and now I'm okay, and I'm surrendering to whenever this is supposed to start moving, because I'm doing the things I can, and the rest is up to the universe. I feel there's this confidence that comes with that. So that's that link that I was sensing. So your self-confidence is definitely growing and leveling up, because of experiences that have recently take place, or continue to sort of appear in your life and take place in your life, and take you to like, a next step. I'm seeing people showing up, seeing the potential in you, and so there are being planted almost right in your life, with that purpose to show you. It's like it gives you little gifts here and there to continue you up on your way, to remind you of that thing within yourself and that light within you, because I feel you might have actually yeah, you might have had someone or multiple people in your life that could have been narcissistic. I don't throw around that word very lightly, but sometimes in a lot of ways, narcissistic people or with narcissistic tendencies, they actually have the potential to see the light within people before they've actually discovered it themselves or have grown it to the full potential. So kind of what they do is they continue to limit that growth by keeping them in the place or keeping them small, and then therefore they feel empowered. You know, if they can hold you from your light, then actually that means that they have more dominance over that. So it is not something they're always aware of, but I've seen that pattern played out multiple times. Yes, and I'm really big on, I don't, on psychoanalyzing. I definitely study human behavior and people from a third person perspective, in the sense of that I'm not coming from a place of judgment or pointing fingers. I just find it very fascinating on how certain things play out. And if you can remove the emotion from it, which is not always easy for me because I'm a very strong empath, Cancer, with the Virgo moon, okay? But I've noticed those patterns, and I see something here that I recognize into people that have actually dealt with that. And they feel like they're often in a position where they continue to grow and well, not maybe not grow, but actually continue to try and convince the other person. Sometimes it plays on such a way where they trick them into thinking that they have to overgive of themselves in order for the other person to actually appreciate them or like them. And so they never will give that appreciation out, because then that light will be reflected back to them. And so it's a never ending cycle of taking their kindness for weakness. At some point this person gets out of it, yes, but it is a journey. And now I'm seeing that it's actually the opposite taking place, because the grapes are here, and the purple grapes tell me that spiritual awareness and that spiritual growth and those spiritual gifts in forms of people, in forms of people reminding you exactly of the opposite of the light within you, of the strength, of the growth, of the of your beauty, of your intelligence, and all of those things. It's very beautiful, Virgo. It's growth, and it's also hard because I can sense this emotion, and I know we don't really talk about it. Goes a little sticky, but just so you know. I'ma just come into your hermit mode space, and I'm just have a little candlelight conversation with you, and then I'll leave, and your secrets will stay with me. But that's just what I'm feeling, and it does really make me emotional, Virgo. It does. Because you just haven't even known how good it gets. It can get so much better, and you deserve the fucking world, okay? You deserve the world. So yeah, I'm not doing it because I always get uncomfortable when the reader, if I ever watch a reading or something. I don't have that much time for it, but still, if they get it emotional, I cannot feel it because I have a Virgo moon. I'll get into that a little deeper in another time, okay? Because we need to move on with the readings. But look at this, 7 of Cups. Yeah, there's just a lot of confusion going on, and when you're not certain. I'm gonna get one more card out on that. 2 more. I like that. Queen of Pentacles and the Justice. It's not about what you see, it's about what you know to be true. Queen of Pentacles, Justice. Gotta continue. I understand that it's tough sometimes to let go of resentment, to let go of like, yes, but that person, you know, did this to me, or they treated me like this, and I don't want them to be happy, or like, you know, in whatever way, shape, or form that you know comes forward in your life. But it's important reminding you of like, no, you gotta focus on your own coins. You gotta focus on what you want to manifest in your life here and now, and you gotta set that energy free by focusing on your own thing, because then that's where the scale will be balanced. And the owl here is also very important, because owls are really strongly connected to Virgo energy. See, she's focused on her coins and moving up and forward. Beautiful. And that's what balances these scales out. Justice. Okay, now. It's not about what you've seen showing up in your material world right now. It really, like I said, you haven't even seen how good it gets. But that's not the only thing that is to be gained in this, you know, physical world. There's so much more gifts. There's so much more. And we kind of get trained to like only, you know, value what we can see, touch, feel, and taste, you know. But that doesn't mean that that is also an important part of being on this planet, you know, of course, because we have to have a roof over our head to feed ourselves, maybe our families in all way, shape, or form. But there's also still so much more wisdom, so much more to gain. So what I'm sensing is the most dominant energy, like I said, a deep purple energy. I know a lot of earth signs that have their favorite color. Their favorite color is purple, light purple, dark purple, deep purple. It's mostly the earth signs. But that's a very important energy, meaning that that's a spiritual energy. So you gotta tune into your hermit energy in order to find release, okay, of this. And that can be found in journaling, going, you know, having a forest walk, just really spending some time, some quality time with animals, whether that is your own animals or maybe someone else's, or, you know, whatever way, shape, or form, they can neutralize your frequency. Sometimes it's even like kids, you know, and them taking you into their world, and therefore that's sort of a meditative state, because it's an alternative reality that they create, and then you step into it, you know. Of course, in playtime, like not, you know, when you're cooking food, the real rules apply. Okay, there's a real fire in the house. Anyways, that's what I'm getting right now, Virgo. Thank you so much for taking the time out your day to listen to this, and I hope there was something hidden in there that can help you feel a little bit better, or have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more faith in yourself. You know. All right. Thank you, Virgos. I'm gonna move on to Libras. Libras, are you the instigator of all of this, or what? It's like, I did it. It was me. No, it's fine, Libra. We got you. It's your last one, so you better make it dramatic. And so you're like, let me just add a little bit of a T-square into Mars with this one. A little bit extra sauce. Nah, Libra. It's your new moon. It's a reason to celebrate just as much. Yeah, it's a last eclipse, you know, for quite some time. I think in around 8 or 9 years we'll have one in Libra again, with the North Node. But right now we are, you know, taking in this last hooray from this eclipse in your sign. So for you, first house, I feel like anything can happen at this point, but mostly, strongly, I'm sensing like the internal parts of things. It's like, you know, as the eclipse, like, you know, the moon and the sun are like sort of crossing each other, and so you start seeing it's getting illuminated, and then, you know, it starts showing up again. And so what I'm feeling is that there's just certain stored emotions from the last couple of years that show up. You feel them. You may be actually being able to like communicate about it with people or not, you know, maybe just with yourself in your journal and stuff like that. But the most important thing is to just sort of be an open channel and not jump to conclusions too quickly, or try to put a label on it, on how we should feel about whatever is arising, whatever we're feeling. I think right now it's just a call to just observe it as it may come, observe it as it may feel, and try not to instantly jump on like, okay, this doesn't feel good, let's break up, you know. It's like, maybe that is the best decision, but try and work through it with a little bit more of like a, you know, a little bit more of a fine line, you know. Because that's something that I am sensing for you, Libra. Also, sorry about that. Happy birthday season. I hope you guys are having a good birthday so far. And yeah, I am definitely enjoying this Libra season so far. I always like Libra season, definitely, because it always is such a nice balanced energy. Because once I start feeling the Scorpio energy coming along, you know, halfway through October, it started knocking on the door. It's really nice to hold on to sort of that Libra energy. So definitely something to just, you know, be conscious about and be aware of what I just said earlier about just try to observe it a little bit. You know, the chaos, is it chaotic? Is it really chaotic? Or maybe, you know, it just feels that way right now. Like, let me just give it some space, give it some time. You might really start feeling something like, whoa, I really want to go back to school. I have this like great idea, and then I do this and then I do that. And yes, do the research, maybe talk to some people about it, write it down, you know, get all the information that you can gain, and then just let it sit there for a little bit. How you feel about tomorrow? How do you feel about it the day after? Is it changing? Is this feeling rising, or is it feeling decreasing? And really doing that with yourself, by yourself, for yourself. Doesn't, like I said, have to be all by yourself, but definitely your feelings are important, and how do they fluctuate and why? Because it's the fear dripping in, and therefore you start to decrease of the energy of something you want. And this is something that I just continue to want to tell you, but I'm going to shuffle some cards now. All right. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful though. Look at this. You started with the Three of Swords, but then you also have the Well and you have the Strength. And so that's the thing. That's what I was talking about. Just because this feeling arises, just because this disbalance might happen in your emotional well-being, that doesn't mean that that is here because it's trying to hurt you all over again. That's not what I'm feeling. I feel like it's just about, okay, can we transform this energy and can we transform it in such a way where it's actually starting to benefit our future and benefit our current pathway? I have all the faith in that. With the Well card and then the Strength, and then we have the Four of Wands right here. It's just about, it's a journey of healing. You know, and it's not by forcing yourself to feel better, by forcing yourself not to think about it anymore, by forcing yourself to do whatever. It's about compassion. It's about nurturing yourself back into a healthy, balanced space. It's about allowing an inner child part of you to speak, or maybe your young adult self that still needs to get stuff off her chest and, you know, doesn't want to be dominated by other sides of yourself. You know, it's healthy. It's healthy to have multiple different type of feelings and emotions passing by now and then. Let me see what else coming up for my beautiful Libras. Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. Maybe you feel like one sec, because I don't want to speculate. Maybe you feel like no. I just got carried away with what I was seeing in the cards. So it's Page of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. I'm feeling okay. I'm gonna give it to you exactly how I'm channeling it. I feel like you were dealing with somebody who just doesn't listen. I feel doesn't hear you. Maybe you went through a period in your life where what you wanted and what you thought was important and what your dreams and wishes were just wasn't listened to. That could be it, but it could definitely also really, like a Three of Swords might have actually something that you thought it was, like a Ten of Cups energy, but then actually it was just a bunch of, I think for some of you maybe it was just a bunch of BS, and it was actually just very much a Page of Cups energy instead of like somebody who shows up consistently and in a commitment and all of that. It actually ended up being just very flighty energy, and the Seven of Pentacles as well. It's like you put in the work, but what you get out of it is just really not. And so if you do decide to move on from that person in the here and the now, that takes strength. But if something takes strength and takes resilience, and it always gets you to something better because it makes you grow, because you feel like it takes strength to change something like that about your life and about your story. But it could also, like I said, be a little bit less personal, and maybe this is something you've experienced. Maybe you've always wished and wanted that happily ever after. And you've put in the work, you tried dating, you tried meeting people, you tried putting yourself out there, and what you got was just these people that, yeah, they're funny and they're some spontaneous, but they're not serious. It's not serious is what I'm getting. So this is a story that connects to the Three of Swords, and I just needed to get it out there. That might not be for all my Libras, but I don't hope that's for all my Libras. I'll put it that way, but it needed to come out. Maybe I'm doing this reading on someone's birthday. It just needed to come out. The Well, the Devil, the Hermit, Five of Wands. Okay, the Emperor is here as well. What else for my Libras? Ooh, the Ace of Cups fell right on the strength. I feel like it was a little bit what I was sensing with the Virgos. There might be some cusp energy here. Or maybe like a Libra sun and a Virgo rising. I'm feeling that something that had a hold on you. Really had a hold on you. Really made you believe that was, all that was for you. So below you. There's so much, you have so much potential, Libra. And there's just so much more out there for you. You have great leadership energy as well. And the Wheel of Fortune, see, keeps showing up. So there's a turnaround. A turn around for you. Beautiful. Just keep on trusting your own. I'm hearing glory, which is very interesting. Keep trusting your own light. Keep trusting your own wisdom. Keep trusting your own authenticity. Just follow that and try to tap into that by not neglecting what other energies you're feeling. If you feel insecure, be honest about it. It's very human, it's very normal. We're not going to allow that to dominate every single part of our lives, but how can you work with that? Why do you feel insecure? What makes you feel insecure? Is that because you're connected to a narrative or a story that is not even your story? Just take your time and think about it. Just sit with it. It might be gone for like 3-4 weeks, then it might be a night where you really get some insight in yourself. Good, take it as it comes, because where you're going is, I don't feel like you've traveled that yet, but it's definitely not nothing comparing to like this incompatibility is what I'm hearing. Just saying now, they're below you. Okay. That's what I'm getting, and I'm sticking to it. All right, Libra, I love you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your birthday season. I'm definitely gonna do some more readings again, but for now, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later. All right, Libra. All right, Scorpio. So let's see what this solar eclipse means for you guys. First and foremost, it's 12th house energy. With that, it is definitely an internal shift, an internal change, an internal growth, and a lot of healing, but also a lot of realizations. So it is about, how are you truly feeling? How are you truly doing? And what's going on? Is something bothering you? And all of that, certain things might come to the surface. And the 12th house energy in combination with Scorpio energy, that already has to do with, like, the depth of basically the ocean. I'm sensing that I just feel in general there's this profound shift, and it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be grand on the external, like in your work or your relationships or anything like that. But I do feel that it is like this drip of clarity, this realization or this truth, and it has like this ripple effect in almost like, all areas of your life. I don't want you to sort of like sit like you're waiting on it to happen. I feel it's more so like a journey for these coming months, where you will just overall gain a lot of clarity and a lot more insights. Because I feel like like some of you literally didn't have the time to stop and think. Didn't have time. Life was crazy. Life been busy. Obviously, we have a little bit of downtime, but then your season is here, and then holiday season is here. It's a lot happening. But I am feeling that aside from that, there's external noise going on and distractions. I feel that this pull to check in, even if it's like, hey, I'm gonna meditate 5 minutes a day, or I'm going to pick my yoga back up this winter or this summer, depending on where you're at, but mostly like winter, to really just check in with your body. Some of you really is stored trauma in the body, like a shoulder that just won't act right. It doesn't have to be physically dislocated, but there could be some trauma to the shoulder. There could be some energy stored there. There could be your back, lower back, with most of you guys as well. It's like the tailbone and stuff like that, because you guys do rule that area. But it's like realigning your chakras, realigning that energy within your physical body, and therefore mentally and emotionally you're able to sort of release. So that could be different. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it a little bit general, because the 12th house energy is a very personal house. It's just very personal, and it depends on where you're at. But it is not a time to completely ignore that side of your life, to ignore yourself and your inner thoughts and feelings. I think then you might have more like boiling over moments. It is definitely a season of like counting to 10, taking a couple deep breaths. But when you come out of this, I really feel like you are capable of connecting. It's about connecting with yourself, but also about feeling connected to your surrounding, to like your children in a different way, to your job in a different way, to your friends and your community in a different way, more deeper, more I almost feel like a crystal clear energy. So it feels more authentic and clear. Feels good. It feels good. That's what I'm hearing. It feels good. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Let's get some cards out, Scorpio. Let's get some cards out. I feel like I'm pulling the weeds out. That's what I'm hearing as well. Some of you might actually have been sort of pushing off this checking in. You're like, I don't know what kind of like whirlwind is coming out when I open up that bottle, so I'm gonna just keep it right there. You know, but that's just not the time right now. Three of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, beautiful. And here we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, good. Six of Wands. So you will have a victory over what you don't talk about. You know, this is very personal for you. It's personal stuff. Because you have like this Three of Cups energy, but then you have the Eight of Pentacles. The work you do by yourself, with yourself, only you know about, truly. The healing, the trauma, the dealing with, you know, growth and stuff. And with the Six of Wands, I am seeing that regardless if it's something that's happening within you or you're showing it or not, I am sensing that first and foremost you have victory over it, meaning that with the Six of Wands especially, like you are overcoming that period of your life. You're overcoming behavior, maybe habits or daily routines that come and stem from that phase in your life. But I am seeing that regardless of whether you're sharing what you've overcome or what you've overcame or what you are overcoming at the moment, I'm seeing that people do pick up on that healing energy. They pick up on lighter energy around you. And so I'm sensing that people will acknowledge you regardless. So let's see. Because there's no in-between energy there. It's just, it's like you're doing this whole glow up moment, Scorpio. Love that for you. Glow up season. It's your birthday season. Page of Swords. Glow up season. But you're still you though. You're still you though. I love that. But a more softer version, okay? A more softer version of that sting. Just a little poke. You don't have to instantly kill them. And I need to recover for months. Don't need to be doing all of that. Give them a little poke. They'll know what time it is. They'll know what time it is. Okay, beautiful. Wow, you have the Page of Cups with the Ace of Cups. So what is the balance? Yes, you're allowed to still be you, of course. Give them a little poke. Don't go in for the kill. Okay, we're good with that. Because what happens then is that the other energy that comes about is the Page of Cups. It's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Not a lot of people get to see the side of you, Scorpio, but when they do, they love you for life. They love you for life. And look at this. Ace of Cups energy. Cup is overflowing. You feel better. You're starting to feel a lot better. You're starting to feel a lot better. Glow up season. I don't know why I keep hearing that. I don't know why I keep hearing that. Alright, these are all the cards that came out with the rest. But I'm not going to use them because it's like way too much. So I will reshuffle if one of them wants to come out. If they will. They always do. There we go. See? Alright, it's a lot. But I'll quickly just walk through it to see if there's a main message. The Ten of Wands, the Devil, the King of Cups, the Two of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and then the beautiful Queen of Cups. Overall, what I'm seeing is like sort of the back and forth. I do not want to spend all my time at work. Really rather just be around my people, be around my family, be around my children, be around my loved ones, and bake cakes, you know, really. But then I would financially not providing. So what is like that going back and forth? I feel like there's more of a middle way because, oh, I'm getting a little bit of mom guilt here. It's like, yes, I got this money, but I've lost out on all this time that I can't get back. Am I doing the right thing? It's like, it's, you know, it is very human and very, 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 very human emotions. And I feel in some way, shape, or form, regardless if we actually have children or maybe parents, you know, that we can't really see that often or take care of because we live on the other side of the country or a different country in order to get the coins. But like, is it worth it? Is it not? Going back and forth. You guys are hard workers, you know, amazing career people as well, Scorpio. But never truly to a core where it gets more important than family, but sometimes it gets in the way of what you actually rather would be doing. But I'm seeing that you're getting some clarity around that. And you might change your mind about something regarding something that would make you happy. Maybe you told yourself you didn't want to have this or you didn't want to do that because it would affect something and therefore you would feel guilty, and so you didn't want it because you felt like then there's so much guilt attached that it doesn't even feel good anymore, or something else, right? There are many layers to that. I'm just choosing to take on one angle right now. But then something else happens and there's clarity. It's like, wait, if that is not a part of it, I actually would love to do that. And then the ball starts rolling that side. So like I said, it is about you and working through some fears and working through some emotions. Don't be afraid to include anyone, even if it's on a professional level. You know, 12 house energy is great to work with, like, you know, from spiritual coach, you know, life coaches to mediums or professional, you know, psychologists or in whatever way, shape, or form. It's a great time to really do that work, show up for the work. But you can also really do that in solitude. That's okay, as long as you're not trying to make it, you know, like a bathtub, right? When you plug it in and then the water doesn't leave the bathtub. This one is a little too tiny, so the water is still going through. It's still leaving the top. That's what I'm saying. There's no escaping it, but why would you if in the end of the coin there's glow up, there's lighter energy. Trust me, it's good for you. It's trying to get you into different places. And the resistance is what makes it feel so uncomfortable because you're like, stop pulling at me. This is a new jacket. Right? Okay. I'm sorry. Scorpio always got so goofy around you guys. Too many Scorpios around me, okay? Anyways, sending you lots of love and early birthday wishes, and I'll be back soon, okay? Scorpio, just take a couple deep breaths, okay? You got this. All right, Sag, let's jump into your reading. Let's see what this eclipse energy has in store for you. Well, you have the 11th house. Don't really foresee that's really the most difficult energy to deal with. I feel like a couple of signs definitely are getting a little bit more confronted with this in your face, but I do feel that it might feel a little bit harder to feel connected at this time to the people that normally like things just flow easy with, and now you're like, am I speaking a different language? Like, why don't you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, this could be many reasons. You know, there could be many reasons. Like, some people just go through their own personal stuff. Some people are really affected by these energies at this time, and then Mars and Cancer is really not helping. So you're like, I know something's going on, but you're not telling me what. So what am I supposed to do? You know, so yeah, there's some back and forth, but that is not necessarily, you know, if I say like the end of the world. No, it's just a phase. And just allow things to play out a little bit, to show up for the communicating aspect of it. And I think overall you will have, like on the other side of this one, I feel you have a lot more understanding of like, okay, these are people that are still in my life because that's just the way it was. I don't really have like a particular reason. I mean, I love them, know them from like, you know, 20 years or 20 plus 25 years, and so that's just people in my life. And then you might have other people where you're like, you know what, these people, they're like actually really smart, like they know a lot about this thing, and I also would love to like learn a lot more about this thing. Like maybe I can like hang out with them sometimes, or I can like join them somewhere. And people are like, yeah, of course, like you can join us, you know. So you opening up your energy towards new types of groups, new types of people, and also people getting to know a different side of you. Like maybe you only know somebody from work and you like hardly ever like talk about anything personal, and then you just go out for a drink together, or maybe you go to one of their birthday parties and you like really get to see a different side of them, or they get to see a different side of you, Sag. And I think that you might get surprised by people that normally you wouldn't really put in your friend group or in your community, or you know, asked to come over in your personal home. But you kind of get surprised. You're like, hey, that's really weird that we never really got to hang out or connect deeper than just work or just this, or because actually I think we have a lot in common, you know. So being open to be surprised by, once again, staying in a level of communication, being open and a little flexible with things just going a little bit different than you may expect. Okay, let's see, Sag. Let's see what else is coming true for you. The Lovers. Maybe they see you in a little bit in a different light. Maybe this could be something romantic. Who knows? I'm just gonna put this right here. Let's see what they have to say about that. I mean, the Lovers, it is about communicating and making a decision to take something to a next level. Okay, this could be romantic, but it could also be business. You know, 11th house is also has to do with your reputation and you know, connection in business. So 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, once again, that energy shows up. So, it is really important that there is transparency, okay? Transparency, I don't know, is being transparent. Meaning that the cards just need to be out on the table. We cannot make it more pretty so it goes easier and smoother and the conversation goes. It's like you gotta put your cards out on the table. You gotta be honest. How does it make you feel? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you not? Are you on board or are you not? Are you excited or are you not excited? Like really being honest, not in like an not being offensive or like I don't like it so you shouldn't like it. It's like really just your personal thing and expressing it. And I think in there you find real connection, you find real authentic relationships, and situations where you don't have to continue to act like you don't, like you have like 2 swords instead of 5, you know, because at one point it starts to weigh. So even when you are romantically meeting somebody, of course you're not gonna like throw everything out on the table like the first date. I mean, some people do and it really works out for them. I mean, if you would go on a date with a Cancer, just share all the trauma and they instantly feel connected to you. Just saying. I can say it because I'm a Cancer. But overall, not everybody feels really comfortable around that. You know, there has to be a healthy balance, obviously. But the thing is, with the 6 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles, in order to bring this somewhere, more authentic, and also more of like a partnership instead of a leadership. I think like you can take your time. Like you don't need to make a rush decision. But it is, if you're in, you're in, and if you're not, then you're not. It's not that like you. I always say like you cannot get into a boat and then leave one leg on the on land and like one leg in the boat. Like the boat will not go anywhere, or it ends up like leaving without you and you fall in the water. But you have to commit to sit in this boat. You have to commit to going up on that journey, like a relationship. You get in the boat. That doesn't mean everything has to instantly be perfect, but you're committing to do the work. Also with yourself, you're like, okay, well, maybe lately I haven't really shown that much interest in the people around me. It's not because I didn't want to do that, or I was really conscious about it, but I've heard it now a couple times, and I want to work on that. Like you're getting in a boat with understanding that, yeah, okay, now I'm on a journey to like see how I can like do better in that, because I don't want my people to feel like that, and they know that I don't mean it, but that still doesn't mean that I cannot like show up for the work, with patience and with kindness, and get to like more calmer waters in that. So it's not about who's right, who's wrong, and who's wearing the hat of blame, because that's not where connecting with people is about. And if it is, then it's not really healthy. It's not really a safe environment to grow. And for you, Sag, it's sometimes hard for you to own up to things, and it's not because you don't see it, not because you can't handle any level of criticism, but you just want to it comes more from like, yeah, but that's not my intention here. 5 of Pentacles. If somebody said like, yeah, well, I kind of feel like you're leaving me out in the cold, you might come up with 20 reasons why that's not true, or why you don't want to make them feel that way, but then still people feel like you're walking over their feelings because you're not acknowledging how they're feeling. And so I'm not gonna give you like a whole psychoanalyzing. Is this not a therapy session? Okay. But all I'm trying to explain mostly is that even if somebody's letting you know like, hey, this is gonna make me feel this way, that doesn't mean like, hey, you're being wrong because you're doing this to me. That's not what people are trying to imply. It's just like they're making you aware because they care about you and they want you in their life. All right, sorry, my storage was full. Hasn't happened in some time. But anyways, it is about, giving that level of acknowledgement. And like I said, they care about you. They want you in their life. But, it's making people aware. And that can be with kindness. And you can have self-compassion in that process as well. You don't need to convince somebody why you're not wrong. If somebody comes to you, for example, and this is an example, I'm not saying, oh, this is what all Sagittarius people do. Not at all, because we're all way more than just one sign, It's just like if somebody comes to you and they're saying like, hey, I kind of feel like, kind of feel like you're ignoring me or something, like, I just haven't heard from you in quite some time. You'd be like, oh, well, he's like, you can respond and like, well, I'm not ignoring you because like we're talking right now, so I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I'm just really busy. That is one way of responding, and it's not necessarily completely wrong, but it's not acknowledging the other person's feelings. It's like, oh, well, I'm glad that you're letting me know. Like, obviously, I'm not intending to make you feel that way, but I don't want you to feel that way. And just so you know, it's nothing personal because I've just been really busy. But I'm glad like you're bringing it up, and just so you know, like next week I'm like really busy again. And so if you don't hear from me, please know like you can reach out to me and I will get back to you like as soon as I can. But obviously I don't want you to feel that way. But just so you know, like I'm just really busy and focused on my work. That person has to be okay with that answer, because of the fact that they cannot make you do anything. They're not entitled to your being all the time. Of course not, you know. But the way that we respectfully ask for that space back is by just communicating. It's like not a big deal. Like, oh, thank you for letting me know. Like, obviously, you know, I don't want you to feel that way, and really isn't anything personal. But you give them space to talk, right? And the same for you as well. If you feel that way with people, express yourself. And so somebody can like say, you know, acknowledge it and knows that if they show certain behavior, then it could actually end up making you feel a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm seeing that decisions and stuff made from a place of love that will get you closer to whoever, you know, comes from a level of healthy communication from love with open space, because that's why love is showing up. Love is about, you know, it connects to Gemini, and Gemini is a sign of communication, is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. So it is, how can we together communicate about making decisions that make sense for both our lives and our lives together, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be between lovers. It can be just between you and other people. Okay, I feel like there's this energy that is coming in when it comes to your reading, Sag. I'm not trying to make you feel, you know, or school you or whatever. I'm just, you know, I'm just getting some stuff and I'm just sharing. Ace of Cups, beautiful. That gets you to the end result that you want. Ace of Cups, overflowing cups, abundance, and not just you. Sag, the moment your cup overflows, everybody around you celebrates and gets some of that, you know, cup energy. So it's like when you feel good and you feel the love and you have this vibrant energy, everybody around you benefits from it. It's always been like that, you know. You're a fire sign after all. Your cup spills over. But sometimes you put yourself in situations where your cup, you know, dries out, and then people still expect you to give them the same amount. But you can communicate like, hey, listen, my cup is kind of dry right now, and I just need this, and I just need that for myself, by myself. I'm gonna fix that myself in order to like have my cup overflowing again. And I understand the moment when your cup, you know, starts to dry out a little bit because nothing else comes in, and these people come and ask you like, hey, where's my water? Why is your cup not overspilling? You get irritated because you're like, you're the reason. One of the reasons why my cup is not overflowing, because you ask too much of my time. The sun. But that's the thing. You figure it out. And true healthy communication, you will be able to have your cup overflow. For you, for the people around you, there's healthy communication, the sun, there's alignment, there's clarity, there's everything out on the table, and it feels good. That's the most important. This is all about feeling good, and from that space you connect, from that space you communicate. All right, Sag, that's what I'm getting for you for this solar eclipse. And definitely there's a lingering energy, right? Because it's not just only about this month. This is kind of sort of a theme that will sort of play around, like flutter around like a little butterfly, you know, in your garden. She's there. Here and there. All right. Up next are my Capricorns. Let me see. 6. Okay. Capricorns. Cappy Caps. 10th house energy. That's a good one. It's a good one in the sense that it's your ruler of the actual 10th house, you know? So that means, you know, anything that is maybe asked of you by this eclipse is something you've already like 6 months ago, like, yeah, if I'm ready, like when I got the time, I need to like look at this, I need to do that, I need to try and do this differently because I want this to level up, and I want this to work. I want to open up for this or open up for that. So And now you come into a space with this eclipse energy where it's like, okay, well, let's give it a go then, you know? So it's not something you have to do this week necessarily, but I'm sensing that there's another door inside of you opening. Like, okay, but now I'm running out of patience for you to put these plans into action. That's a side of you. So try to be patient with yourself at the same time, because that side doesn't have to dominate everything. But I'm sensing it's really big of like a motivator and a guidance. And it's not that you have not been out there. You have been out there. You have been actually changing and growing and evolving. So I'm sensing that this is just a little push to take certain areas that maybe have been falling off the bandwagon a little bit, which is totally okay. We can be everywhere all at the same time. But it's now coming forward a little bit, adding as like sort of the cherry on top. So that is something I'm seeing. But I do want to tune in a little bit deeper for you on that. I feel like maybe for some of you, like your work has been very like, you know, prominent and dominant. Let's say dominant, okay? You might, for some of you, your work, and maybe you've been on, you know, trying to start up a business and stuff like that, and it's only normal that that takes up a lot of time and space from you. But I am sensing that now maybe that goes a little bit to the background. You know, you've kind of put things up, and maybe now sort of romantic love and energy is coming in, and now it's like, okay, when it comes to work, how do we make both work? Can we stay focused and stay grounded and do all of that at the same time? That could be challenging, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just a challenge, meaning that is a possibility to grow. That's other you know, the south node's energy, because this eclipse is with the south node in Libra. So it's about, okay, how can we adjust that? How can we shift that? How can we maybe release or make some space here, or all of that energy, Cap? Okay, can I get some cards out for Capricorn? I'm going to change the deck after your reading because this deck is a little tired. Oh, it's the arms though. There we go. Oh, here you are. You have been showing up in other people's readings, though, Cap, with the devil energy, you know. Together with the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Oh, yes. So when it comes to love, like I was talking about, right, a little bit earlier on. 2 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups. I really feel like you are you're having a challenge into, for example, if you try to attract like a new partnership, right? New partnership, or maybe it's an existing one, but you really want that to like take on to a different form. It's like you're manifesting. You have this clear vision of what you want, what you don't want, what's good for you, what you're looking for, what you're deserving of. Like really, you know, with this 4 of Cups energy, I'm gonna show you the card. You know, it's really like I'm attracting this to me. He has his eyes closed, and this cup is sort of flowing in. How divine. And here you are with your 9 of Cups. So you are in the perfect energy to manifest a healthy connection. You're really in a good energy because, like I said, you've been out there. And the devil energy, I mean, it's just that Capricorn trademark, right? It's if something is going too easy, you kind of feel like, but this doesn't really seem right. You know, kind of looks too good to be true. Like, this is not really my life. So where's the catch? You know, where is where's the catch over here? So I'm sensing that I'm just seeing like some romantic relationship, romantic situationship coming into your life. And if it's already in your life and it's quite established, I'm seeing that is just making more of like a forefront energy. So it's other things in your life and starting to make a little bit more space in order to this to coexist and co-align with this. Let me see what else, what type of advice comes through for that. Here we go. I have the Knight of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is showing up a lot. A lot. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Yeah, there is this, all these little side notes, and I feel like you are, I'm gonna get a couple more cards because it's too general. And of course I try to keep it general, and I don't only want to focus on love, but it shows up so permanent, because here what they're showing me with this as well, it's like every time you feel like, okay, I got a reason to like cut this one off, and it's just about when you just get to know somebody. It's like, I got a reason to cut something off, and let me just get back to what I was focusing on. But it doesn't feel the same, because now this person is like entered. So it's like, I can't close this door now. And you kind of get a little bit annoyed with it. You're like, okay, let me get back to what I do best, work. And then you're like, this is the reason why it didn't work with this Page of Swords. And then they show up with like, no. They come back and they're like, oh, well, if you wanted this, I got that. No problem. You're like, God damn it. Do I actually really have to like start changing my life and like let you in and stuff? Because the thing is, the commitment is not the problem. Because once you are in, once you're committed, like you're a loyal Cap. But it's the getting there that makes you hate the feeling you're falling in love, that there's something is just like taking over your mind, your body control. Like, you don't like this feeling of falling in love. If you can run, like you run. And that's maybe not for all, depending on what your Venus sign is. But I do not know a lot of Capricorns that love the feeling when they're like falling in love and losing control and stuff. Because in the end of the day, there's just a lot of Saturn energy coming, with your sign at the same time. So, I have swords. So, what is that all about? Why is this Knight of Swords coming in? And then, okay, truth, the artist. King of Cups. I feel that they also want to make you aware of, just because you're so afraid, and it doesn't mean you have to be afraid, right? But some people are like really afraid of being hurt, getting hurt, and then actually end up hurting the other person, because they might already like have this open energy, they might already kind of been in, and you're trying to like cut it off, or not let it in. They end up maybe hurting people when you don't mean to at all. But it happens sometimes, So I am sensing that it's just this energy. It's like there might be somebody coming into your life, and it doesn't have to be necessarily romantic, but it's someone that has such a soft energy and such a soft spirit. And it's not when they're weak, they're just soft, gentle, emotional, intelligent, and aware, and very artistic, and very Piscean energy. They don't have to be a Pisces, but they really do have this energy around them. Like they believe life is art, but they also really wear their heart on their sleeve, and they have like this open heart energy. And so if somebody like that enters your life in whatever way, shape, form, could be through work, could be a client or whatever, they just show you exactly like something that you maybe fear, you know, or how they go about connecting and loving, and like you're like, wait, aren't you afraid? Like, you know, you're like getting a little bit intrigued about how they do life. You're like, I might actually want to like work on feeling like that about my life and about dating and about my relationship and whatever. I kind of would like to study that a little bit more. Like, you're intrigued because this energy is just here. And especially with the tower, like it kind of shocks you a little bit. Might shock you a little bit. All right. Okay, one more card. Knight of Pentacles. And he even is practical. Practical, emotional, aware. What a combination. I did not mean it for this to turn into a love reading, Cap. So I'm trying to keep it more in the middle, but I just feel matters of the heart matter at this time for you guys. More than you might know. The Chariot. Yep, your 7th house energy. You're like, I'm doing it over here as well. We are, okay? Like, Cancer over here. Cancer, Sun, and Rising. So both. I'm doing the 4th house. I'm ruled by the 4th house. You guys are doing the 10th house. You guys are ruled by the 10th house. We understand, okay? Like, we get it. I get it. You get it. We get it. Let's just not talk about it anymore. Because we're both not big talkers. Which is worthy. But we understand each other. Cap. But you're doing it, though. I don't want you to feel like, oh, just because something else shows up as an opportunity to grow in and actually has like really amazing energy around it, a lot of emotional fulfillment and connection. But yeah, sometimes we need to call ourselves out a little bit on our bullshit, you know, and time to grow, because you're outgrown a certain way of coping with things. You've outgrown it. It just doesn't feel right anymore. Like I said, you go back to your old ways, but they don't really feel right anymore. So maybe it's time for something new. But you got this. And I'm already really proud of you, Cap. I always am proud of you. All right. Love you. Talk to you soon, Cap. I'll be back soon. All right. In the meantime, I'm moving on to Aquarius. My Aquarius. You know how much I love the song Aquarius from the musical Hair. Really one of my favorite songs. I have it on 3 different vinyl records. I love it to listen to it on vinyl. It's just every time I bump into it on, like, you know, some old school vinyl record store or a market or whatever, and I bump into it, it's mine. I'm gonna take it. It's really one. I'm not even really big on musicals, to be honest. But that is just, you know, it's a piece of art, period. Anyways, I said already when I was doing Capricorn reading that I was going to change the decks for your reading, because I felt that this deck needs a break. And I actually unpacked this one because it was still packed because of the move. So, yeah, kind of just rambling, making sure that we're ready. We're doing small talk now, Aquarius. We're doing small talk, okay. So, how's the weather? How's the weather over there? It's a little messy over here. Okay. All right, Aquarius, let's really be serious now. This solar eclipse energy for you is in your 9th house, right? For especially, you know, Aquarius rising people. With the 9th house, it is, you never really truly know what you're gonna get. You know, it's the house of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but it could also be this and it could also be that. You never really know what the ninth house is all about until it's like right in your face. So it could play out differently, obviously, for you guys, and depending on the rest of your chart looks like. But it's just being open-minded is the key. Okay, dealing with the ninth house, it's about being open-minded. Like, for example, it's the house of like far travels, right? Like traveling to a different like continent or country with different type of cultures and food. And so when you visit a different place with different cultures and food and people and languages, the best thing to pack in your suitcase is a whole lot of like open-mindedness and just open heart energy. This is not the way that I'm used to, but I'm open-minded to get to know other people's ways. So the little energy of like open-mindedness, being open to learn something new, being open to have conversation with people that maybe have a different viewpoint than you or do life differently than you. Just being open-minded, and it really might get you places that a side of you may actually was like a little resistant towards, like, I don't know this and I don't really know, like, I would like to do this, but I no, but I have this, or I cannot do that. And if you integrate a little bit of open-minded energy, this ninth house eclipse, these coming months might actually guide you around that thing, and that side of you doesn't even really notices it, that it doesn't even alarm itself. It's like, oh, for this I don't really need to like be in the forefront. You know, for example, you might I don't know, maybe you get really anxious, or maybe you're very shy, and so there's certain things with not so much pressure, and so your shyness doesn't really feel that it has to be in the forefront that much. And so your open-mindedness gets you into a place where normally you would get really nervous about or very shy for, but then you're like, hey, I kind of did it. Like, huh? You know, like even surprise yourself a little bit with that. So, and you are, in the end of the day, you know, you are definitely really open-minded, and you're very forward thinking. So if it comes about like, you know, certain new tech stuff or whatever, you're capable of like really learning quickly, really coping like quickly, even though you're a fixed sign. It's just about the things that maybe are the most personal to you, that sometimes there's some stagnating energy around. As long as it's not too personal, you feel much more freer. It's sort of like the open-mindedness of it all, and just being like open to the world and what's going on and all of that. Like, you know, it's time for me to start shuffling the cards. That's why I'm here. Okay. So with Mercury as well, Mercury in Virgo and Mars in Cancer right now. Mars in Cancer is actually like T-squaring this eclipse together with the North Node, with the South Node in Libra. So there is a little bit an energy of impatience and a little sensitive, and we might like respond quicker. And so with you guys, it's about just being aware of like the things you say, and you don't have to be like completely filtered or like, you know, hyper aware or afraid to speak. It's just about like, okay, if you're trying to be honest about how you're feeling or what you're thinking about or what you want to share, that's all good. It's just like, if you run it through, like if somebody was said it to you, how would it make you feel? And then how could it, you're like, okay, that actually would hurt my feelings, or that would make me feel like this or make me feel like this. But even though I want them to be honest, so how could they say it a little bit in a different way, or, you know, so it would make you feel more comfortable around hearing the truth. It's just really doing those practices with yourself are really gonna get you far in the rooms. I'm hearing in the rooms. You're gonna have to enter some rooms these coming months. Whatever rooms look like for you, you know. Just a side note. All right, this deck is a lot heavier, so I have to be patient. 2 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. The 3 of Pentacles has been showing up in Ace of Swords as well in almost every reading. And this is a completely different deck I'm using for the first, for you guys. 2 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. You really are focusing on where do you see yourself moving forward? Where do you see yourself in the future? And what type of people would you like to surround yourself with? And I'm seeing with this Ace of Swords, some cuts need to be made. And this could literally be cutting out some people from your inner circle, or maybe some business partnerships and things that just no longer work for you. You know, maybe you want to take your business from like offline to like online business, or actually the other way around. A lot of people start in physical stores. They're like, ugh, this internet, I'm going back old school. I'm opening up this little thing, you know, here and there, and people can just come by. And I love that, you know, the human interaction as it's like, now what my life is about, period. Off the internet. A lot of people are doing that. That's not saying that this you should do, because it doesn't work for everything, but I'm sensing that there's been this feeling of expectation to continue to grow and evolve and go with the time and go with the tides and doing this and doing that, because that's expected of people my age, or that's expected of me on this way or that way. And you're supposed to level up and level up, but at one point you level up so much you forget a part of yourself along the way. You might get to the top, but it doesn't feel like you're there. And I'm sensing a lot of air signs, you know, mostly. They're nostalgic about when they used to connect more deeper with that part of themselves and actually discover that that's the side that they want to. That's the real you. That is the you that doesn't chase anything. It just is. It just connects. It just loves. It just creates. It just sparks. And that's something that I'm feeling. Like you don't necessarily know how to integrate that into your grown version, the grown version of you, or your grown up life that you need to live. But that's what you're trying to figure out, and being open-minded about it is very important. Yeah, it's like you've missed the sparkle. Interesting. You're really making me work hard for this message, Aquarius. Because I have to stay super centered, because my mind wants to run, and like, you know, my channeling as well, it wants to go anywhere and everywhere. Here with the Hangman, we're not going anywhere, because there is a divine portal. And so there is this, with this eclipse as well, there's this ripple effect. I keep on feeling that ripple effect. And it comes from, first, you must know where you're running towards before you can run any further. So it's like, when you go through this portal, you need to be completely ready, and then the door will open for you. With the right energy, the door will open for you. And then you have this whole nother life and this whole nother chapter coming and opening up for you. But it is gained through inner perspective. And you need to gain that clarity and perspective about what it is that's missing. And maybe nothing is missing. And that's the whole point. It's accepting as is, accepting and embracing yourself fully and wholly for truly for where you are right now and who you are meant to become. But we can love ourselves through the eyes of once I'm in shape, or once I got that education, or once I have found that life partner. It's here and now. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's the completely being open-minded about that you are more than good enough for where you are exactly right now. That doesn't mean that you can have aspirations to grow and evolve, because that's human, and that is also definitely what our soul is guiding us towards. But that doesn't mean out of the reason of we're not good enough as is. It's just because we're curious. It's just because we continue wanting to learn and grow. And we're not putting too much expectations on what that should look like. But we are putting expectations on what that should feel like. It should make you feel good. It should make you feel excited. It should make you feel scared at the same time, but like in a good way. Okay, so what else for my Aquarius people? What else for my Aquarius? My collective. Knight of Cups. Beautiful. That's that energy. Picking up your cup, and we're gonna go. And we're not overpacking. We're just going with the flow and taking it as it comes. And we don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect in order to, be successful. But it has to be authentic. All right. That was your message. And I was a little cryptic. Aquarius, I'm sorry. I need some more time with you guys, because we need to get to the bottom of some things. But in due time, okay? For now, just go with the flow. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? I keep on saying that to my Aquariuses. Don't be too hard on yourself. Pisces. All right. All right, Pisces. You are the last sign I am doing, and then I get to, put this whole thing together, try to put this whole reading together and actually get it out there on the YouTubes. I'm picking up a different deck because the other one was a little too heavy. What is happening, Pisces? What is happening for this solar eclipse energy for you? First and foremost, 8th house energy. Okay? So, let's see what comes forward from that 8th house energy. House of shared resources, shared finances, and all of that. Here we go. Attachments. The devil energy shows up. It's been showing up, okay? But that's because the south node energy is connected to it. Okay. I'm getting like a sinal, I don't know if that's the right word thing. And there's this pressure on my third eye chakra, all of a sudden. So I don't know if you guys have recently had like a nose injury or like a ball or something hitting that, or it's just, I'm feeling like there's this pressure on my nose bridge as well. I'm just acknowledging it so it can like ebb away, because if I'm acknowledging it, often it just goes away. Okay, here we go. The devil with the Knight of Pentacles. So Pisces, what's been going on for you? Let me see. What's been going on for my Pisces people? What can you expect? Beautiful. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and it goes over into the Knight of Wands, and then you have the King of Wands. That's a big leveling up energy, Pisces. So when we do it, we do big. Love that. So you do really level up, but it's almost like you see, I just want to show you guys like what I'm getting with this. You see this devil is like hanging out and he's like sort of waving, and then you have like this knight showing up. But would you like could you trade? Like, do you want to set them free and I'll give you this? And he's like, no, thank you. I don't know, maybe he is accepting, you know. So I think because I see the transformation happening so quickly right after it, I'm kind of wondering about what it is that you have to offer in order to set yourself free from some way of thinking. And it's always a limitation. So a limiting belief about yourself, about what you'll look like, about your skills, about love, about something you didn't do in the past. Like, what is it that holds you there, you know, like right here. So I'm seeing that there is something that is offered, and it could be different for each and every one of you, but I got it so like dominantly almost. So let's see, the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands shows up, so that's really good. But it's also Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords and the Devil, both of them have been showing up a lot. You might, watch your rising or sun or moon sign as well, and you're like, oh, I see it again. Chances are big. So the Knight and the King of Cups, the King of Wands. I was focusing on the Page of Cups as well. Now we have like the Page. So we have like a Knight energy showing up, slow and steady. So I do feel like maybe some of you have been really working, putting in the work already to like chip at this, like understanding like what are your fears around shared resources, what are your fears around financial aspects and stuff like that. It doesn't have to only be financial, connection. It could be moving in together, and maybe that's something you're really afraid of, or in any way, shape, or form. A limitation around something that has to do with sharing you and another person. That could be multiple different things. But I feel with the Page of Cups and the Seven of Cups equals, into the Four of Cups. It's like it is a belief system. I feel like that you don't have to settle for less, because I'm sensing this energy of like someone who's showing up and it like seem all fine and dandy, but then also it's like some stories don't add up, like what is really going on here. And then you just feel like, I don't feel safe about sharing like my life with somebody, like putting my trust into their hands, because I just don't think that they're responsible like that. All I'm saying is being honest goes a long way, because there's enough passion. It's just not so much trust about really completely sharing your life. So there might be some aspects that show up with this. You're like, I love them, and they're crazy, and they're really funny, and they're very creative, and wear their heart on the sleeve, and it's never a dull time. But when it comes to actually putting my faith in them paying our mortgage on time or all of that, like, I don't know if I trust them like that. And it's not because I don't think the world of them, but maybe I cannot trust them with that. I don't feel comfortable about that. That's what I'm saying. And with the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords, it's the honesty that goes a long way. And the Sun comes up as well, so beautiful, because the Ten of Swords is here with the Sun. It's better to be honest. I don't know what is going on and what you're sort of holding back on, but definitely it is time to like be honest. Either be honest with yourself, or express that clarity, because after that with the Ten of Swords it definitely puts something to an end, and that is like that worrying and overthinking and like going back and forth, should I, shouldn't I, because there's not a lot of swords here, but the swords that are here, just saying, beautiful. Ten of Swords, Nine of Cups. I'm really feeling you put an end to the, I'm hearing the misery. Oh, this looks pretty miserable, you know, Ten of Swords, but you have it together with the Nine of Cups, the Sun, and it all came, it grew out of this Ace of Swords. So sometimes it gets a little bit worse before it gets better, but then it gets really good. So like, maybe it's worth it. But you don't know if you don't try it, Pisces. That's what I'm getting. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, put in the work. And I am seeing you showing up for the work. You are. You definitely are. All right, beautiful Pisces. Like, just take it easy, okay? It's a lot. It's tough energy for a water sign. So just take a bath if you can and just relax. Be in water. It's really good for you. Just be careful. Don't go swimming in the ocean during the eclipse. Like, please don't do that. Don't do all of that, because I'm not going to put that out there, okay? Anyways, sending you lots of love and light. Thank you so much, Pisces, for tuning in. And if you're still here because you just enjoyed listening to all the readings and all the signs, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. It's been a while since I did one of these, but I'm feeling ready to sort of, you know, slowly but surely show up again over here. All right. Love you. Thank you. Mwah. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye, guys.